Well, guys, after a month-long hiatus, I'm finally back, and I'm sorry for being gone for so long. I was just dealing with a lot of personal problems and just wasn't really in the best headspace for recording and streaming in general. A lot of you guys who are in the Discord already know that, though. For those of you who aren't in the Discord, I'll have that linked in the bio of this video. And yeah, I'm officially back. I got a video that I've been holding on to for like the past month now. I've had the thumbnail made forever now. I've been ready to make it. I just haven't made it. And yeah, I got a bunch of content ready for you guys, just ready to edit and upload. I got the whole Civilization series to make. I got the whole gameplay in the background is going to be a whole separate video. I recorded some funny ass repo footage. And yeah, before we get into this video, I'd just like to thank you guys all for over 400 subscribers. It means a lot to me, and I'll keep trying to produce quality content for you guys from here on out. And with enough being said, let's just get into today's story time. So this story takes place almost 2 years ago, back when I was a junior in high school, and at this point in time, it was like in the middle of May. And I wasn't really doing all that much at this point. Like, track season had just ended for me. It was getting really close to the end of the school year. There was like the last half of May left and a couple days in June, and we were done. So I was essentially just like gliding through the rest of the year because I had essentially already passed. And something else to note that's really important for this story about this point in time is I was dating this girl, and we'll just call this girl Kelly. And something important I want you guys to all keep in mind about Kelly is that she was in a relationship right before her and I had started dating. And something else I want you to keep in mind is right before she was in that relationship, me and her were also talking again, which is a whole other situation that warrants its own story time that I'll probably tell soon. But I needed to tell you all of this purely due to the fact that her previous relationship from before we had started dating was basically the catalyst for this whole situation happening. So let's fast forward to the day this story time takes place. It's just a random day in like the middle of May. I wake up, I go to school, I start my school day. I could have went in high for all I know. Junior year, some days I'd go in high, other days I wouldn't. But anyway, I went into school and I essentially just sat through like the first two periods because nothing really important to like this story happened. And then I walked into chemistry third period, and I did not like chemistry. So when I got in there, I just sat down on my phone and like dicked off the entire time. And when I had gotten on my phone, I had started texting Kelly because she wasn't one who paid attention much in school either, or she just wouldn't go. We had a lot in common that way. But I started texting her, and while me and her were talking, I started to realize that, like, she did not seem okay in the slightest. So I tried, like, figuring out what was wrong, and she starts explaining to me that basically her ex that she had dated right before me and her had gotten together had added her back on Snap, and apparently he just started being like a fucking weirdo. And so I started asking her like what he was doing, and essentially he like was making comments about like her nudes that were still saved in their chat. And immediately I'm just like in shock, because who the fuck does that? Like, that is indeed like something weird to do. And I start trying to like console her, trying to make her feel better. And then I ask her if she wants me to like try and talk to him, like get him to fuck off. And she's like, I'm already bitching at him currently, but like, you can if you want to. I don't know exactly what it's gonna do. And I was like, me neither, but I'm sure that I can try. And then she proceeded to send me a snap. I added him, and then I proceeded to go through the rest of chemistry. And after chemistry was over, I started walking over to my culinary class. And I get over there, start getting ready, like putting my uniform on and shit. And we're like in the downtime between class starting and like our teacher beginning to start class. And I'm texting her again, and she's just sending me like screenshot after screenshot of all the foul shit this dude's saying. And it's not even shit like about their save chats anymore. He's just being like a fucking dickhead at this point. So now I'm telling Kelly just to like ignore him, and he'll probably just leave her alone if she does. And while I'm doing this, class begins to start, and I put my phone away because I actually enjoyed culinary. It was a very nice class for me. And so I'm not like seeing anything that she's sending me for like the next 2 hours that I'm in class, unless I'm like going to the bathroom, and then I'll open my phone periodically while I'm in there. And I think I went once during this class as a whole, and when I checked my phone, it's just like messages after messages of her like low-key crashing out. And I felt really bad because like Kelly's a nice human being. Like, she's genuinely a nice person. This dude just being a fucking asshole. And by this point, I'd seen that he had added me back. So I text her a little bit. I'm like, I'll be able to talk more once culinary's over. Like, he added me back. I'll try and figure something out. And so I had finished culinary, and after culinary, I had lunch for like 40-ish minutes, I think. And during lunch junior year, I sat with literally like 2 to 3 people. So I wasted no time when I got to lunch. I got my food. I sat down at my table. I did not talk to a single person I sat with, and I started texting Kelly's ex, and we'll just call this dude fucking Dylan. And I'm talking to Dylan, and I'm like, dude, you need to leave Kelly alone. Like, y'all aren't together anymore. You're apparently doing some weird shit. Like, just leave her alone. And I so badly want to cause a problem due to the fact that he was genuinely just being a terrible person. But I'm trying to contain myself because I don't like causing issues. I think you guys have seen I literally let myself get punched in the face and didn't do anything, but I'm trying to be like calm at first. And he's being like a dickhead to me immediately after. He's like, oh, fuck off or some shit like that, which immediately I took as him just not giving a fuck that I was trying to talk to him about this issue. So I immediately started like pressing him about the situation. I'm like, dude, just leave her the fuck alone or me and you are gonna have a problem. And he starts pressing me back, like talking about fighting me and shit like I was. Then he starts going in on me for living in a trailer. And if you guys are wondering how he knew this information, from the whole situation beforehand of when me and Kelly were talking the first time and then Dylan and Kelly started dating immediately after, Dylan would bring Kelly to hang out with me when me and her were talking. So he essentially just knew where I lived, and that whole fact is crazy as shit, and I'll delve more into that in the story time about that situation, but he essentially just knew where I lived and shit. And so I proceeded to start talking to him. I'm like, dude, if you know so fucking much about where I live at and if I live in a trailer, why don't you come fucking pull up today and fight me then? He's like, I fucking will, pussy. I'll bring my friends too. And I was like, so you're not gonna fight me? You're gonna jump me? He's like, no, I'll fight you. And I said, I was like, that's not what it sounds like, but okay. And then we proceeded to argue for a little bit more, and I just unadded him after that point. And then I proceeded to go through fucking English class, and then I went into my study hall class. And when I got into my study hall class is kind of when like the main climax of the whole story takes place. I get into study hall, I take out my phone, I'm like texting Kelly and shit again. And what she proceeds to tell me next genuinely leaves me dumbfounded, like, to this day. Like, I can never think of a situation so more unnecessary than this one right here. And this situation is that essentially Kelly and Dylan started arguing on their school's public Snapchat story, which if you guys didn't know, Snapchat came out with a feature like a while ago to where you could put like what high school or what college you were from and you would have access to like a public story that everybody who went to that school could post on. Yeah, they were fucking arguing on that, like their school's story, and she was just sending me like screenshot after screenshot, and I'm reading some of these, and Dylan's literally talking about fucking like fighting me and jumping me on this story. Like one of the messages was about him and his friends pulling up, and then another one was like, I'll go tow his fucking trailer away for all I care. Like bro was literally threatening to tow my fucking trailer away over this situation, and all I did was defend the person I was dating. And I was like, it's low-key kinda foul that you guys are arguing on the Snapchat story that literally everyone from your school that's signed up for it can see it. And that's probably like well over a couple hundred people. And it wasn't my school, by the way. We went to completely different schools. So thankfully not everyone I knew was just watching this all unfold. But I got her, thankfully, to stop arguing with Dylan on the public Snapchat story. And I started going through, like, more of the screenshots and shit to, like, see what all was being said. And they were really going in on me. Like, they were going in on her. And, like, random people also started posting on the Snapchat story. Like, one person said, like, nobody fucking cares about any of this. Like, just text each other about it. And I thought it was fucking hilarious. And then I proceeded to take to my story on my own. And I know what you guys are thinking, like, Riddick, you're such a fucking hypocrite. Why would you get her to stop posting about it, then post about it? And honestly, you're completely right to think and say that. I should not have posted about it. But in my personal opinion and, like, in my eyes, nobody that, like, knew that dude had that story that it got posted to. Like, it was my private story. And I didn't think it would end up being that big of an issue due to that reason. And a little while after I posted it, like 10 minutes probably, there's like maybe 20 minutes left of the study hall. My one friend, who we'll just call Alec, he hits me up, sliding up on my story. He's like, send me the dude's snap. that you're talking about in this, because I'd posted some shit like threatening to jump me on the school Snapchat story is crazy. And I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't know how well that'll end. He'll be like, I'm not going to do anything bad. Just like send me it. I'm going to fuck with him a little. I'm like, all right, you know what? Fine. And I'm not going to lie. This was not the smartest decision by my part. If I was going to post about this on my Snapchat story, I at least should not have given Alec this dude's snap. And that's because I love Alec to death, but he causes so many unnecessary problems just because of the fact that he'll feel like it sometimes. And after I'd given Alec Dylan's snap, sure enough, he proceeded to had caused things, and I got a notification that I'd been added to a group chat on Snap, who I'm gonna assume it was Alec that added me, considering I unadded Dylan, but it was Dylan and Alec both in this group chat. And I join there. Alec is just flaming Dylan. He's flaming Alec. I start flaming Dylan, I'm not gonna lie, which just keep your arguments to one-on-one, people. Don't be ganging up on other people. I just did this because he was, in my eyes, he deserved it. And eventually, he adds two of his friends to the group chat, and these are the two dudes that Dylan wanted to jump me with. And immediately after Dylan's two friends join, they waste no time coming after me and Alec, but they're sort of like leaving Alec alone and more or less coming at me, which is completely understandable given the fact that their beef is with me and not this random dude they've never met. Which, keep in mind, I'm some random dude they've never met, but they have their fucking friend Dylan in one ear, and he's talking all that shit. So now they're in here just flaming me for no apparent reason. And all three of them are just threatening to jump me now. Alex, like, calmed down a little bit with how he's talking, and since they added more people to the group chat, I added my one mod, Chris. Y'all know who it is if you're from the TikTok side of my community, because he was in there when I was arguing with them and was hearing me talk about it in study hall, and he starts arguing with them. Then they add more people to the group chat, and at this point it's just a bunch of people threatening to jump me now, and like me and my friends sort of defending me. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really fed up, which I feel like most people would in this situation, so I just left the group chat. I hit up my one roommate at the time, because yeah, I had another roommate before, and we'll just call this dude fucking Barry. And Barry was like a 6'2", 240-pound power lifter that I was living with at this point in time. So I hit him up. I'm like, dude, I might be getting jumped later. I'm okay with fighting the one dude because he's the only one I have issues with. If the other dudes try to jump in, can you please just handle them? He's like, yeah, I got you. And Barry was always down for a fight, which I have some foul stories about Barry because I found out firsthand and heard some things that he's not a very good dude, but we'll get into that another day. So at this point, I at least knew that I wasn't going to get jumped because Barry would have handled literally whoever was trying to put hands on me that wasn't Dylan. And so by this point, study hall's over. I proceed to go home. I just walked home, I'm pretty sure, because I couldn't drive when I was a junior because bum type activities. But I got home, I looked my mom in the eyes, and I'm like, Mom, I might be getting, like, attempted to get jumped today, or I might get into a fight. Just don't go outside when that happens. And she's like, Riddick, what the fuck are you talking about right now? Like, what are you saying to me? And I'm like, some dudes threatened to jump me. Like, Barry said he'll handle them, and I'll just handle the one dude who I actually want to fight. And she says, Riddick, I don't think you should be fighting anybody in our yard. Like, if somebody comes here to jump you, I'll, like, just call the cops or something. And I'm just saying to her, I'm like, you don't have to do that. I don't really care that much. They wanted to cause a problem. It's kind of on them. And if they want to come here trying to jump me, that's also on them when Barry just beats the shit out of all of them and then I beat the shit out of the one dude. And after that, I proceeded to just wait and wait the rest of the day for them to show up and jump me, and they never did. And I don't know as to why they didn't, but yeah, they just never showed up, and not much really happened after this story. Me and Kelly ended up breaking up a couple months later. I actually told a story time about that. One of, like, my very first videos, I'm pretty sure. Pretty close to one of my first videos, but yeah, we broke up a couple months later. And yeah, it's pretty much where today's story time ends. I'm glad I finally got another fucking video out for you guys. And if you enjoyed today's story time, make sure you drop a like and comment your thoughts on the video. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I'll be live on TikTok shortly after this video goes up, just playing some Minecraft for a little while. And yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. There will be a Minecraft video up hopefully within the next 2 days. And hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for tuning into the video if you made it this far. And I'll see you all hopefully in my stream or in my next video. Bye.